Right then, every time I start writing the script for a week's video, I kid myself that the previous game was as bad as it was going to get and the next match was going to stop the rot. Not getting better exactly, but wouldn't get even more shit. But every single game at the moment there seems to be an exercise in demonstrating our ineptitude in new and interesting ways. Add to that the almost sadistic zeal with which they inflict torture on the poor but not exactly unexpecting fans, and you start to wonder if they or the fans are actually getting something from this. Of course, the media frenzy, which has made frequent appearances on these videos in recent weeks, got ratcheted up a few more notches, and in the absence of any actual information, they've circled back to trotting out a host of random manager names to link to a job that's not even available yet. All the while, we have to contend with ex-players boring the shit out of the vast majority of us by drawing on their years of failed managerial escapades or their feelings on the matter, which they then try to pass off as fact. This has included Michael Owen extolling the virtues of Steve McLaren taking over for the last 4 games of the season for no other reason apparently than he played under him for England about 20 years ago. And the moron's moron, Jamie Carragher, stating with a degree of certainty saved only usually for idiots that this United side is the worst coach side in the Premier League, and that's a fact. It's not a fact, it's an opinion. Unfortunately, all this bullshit does little to nothing to distract from the latest episode in United's long-running series of how to make football look like the hardest job in the world while making any opposition look like 1970s-era Brazil with our away game at Crystal Palace. For United fans with little expectation of competence from their own side, attention turned to the performance of Michael Elise, whose links to United appear about as often as Gareth Southgate's. Now, a good performance against United shouldn't be used as any real indicator of quality, as we make even the most journeyman of journeymen look amazing most of the time, but it was hard not to see that he offers so many things on the right hand side of the pitch that we currently lack. His good performance, and it was good but not world class no matter what you might have seen it described as, was overshadowed by the frankly shocking non-performance of a United side with more players playing out of position than in position, and a bench featuring 2 keepers, 4 youth team members and Sofian Amrabat. 90 minutes of misplaced passes, missed tackles, no end product, committing to slide tackles with no covering defenders, players in their early 30s playing like they were in their early 80s, and it's no surprise we got beat 4-0, when to be honest it could quite easily have been double that. It was arguably as bad a performance as that against Brentford earlier last season, but whereas that performance was unexpected, this one has been on the cards for weeks if not months. We have 4 games left in a season that can't finish quickly enough for most, and those games are against Arsenal, Newcastle, Brighton and Man City. All 4 sides possess qualities that we currently lack in abundance, as they all play decent football, can defend, score goals, play with energy and as a team. I can't be the only one dreading the battering to come whilst not expecting to see United win another game until next season. So far, and despite our worst efforts, we've managed to escape a similar drubbing to the defeat at Liverpool last season, but on the back of what appears to be our ever worsening performances, there seems to be a genuine fear among supporters that something like that is on its way. After the 4 teams we face in the next few weeks, 3 of them have the potential to score at will, and seeing as any team scores at will against us these days, I do worry that those fears may be well founded.